Good evening. It is evening over here. Good evening, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 39 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise. Today, coming to you, quite unusually at the moment, from Facebook, which means that I need to do the usual thing and make sure that everything's working fine. Have we got a live stream? Yes, we do seem to have a live stream, so all is good. Right, thank you everybody for tuning in. Whoever has tuned in, thank you very much for watching after the live broadcast, if indeed you are watching after the live broadcast. Some of you may be aware that I'm trying to start broadcasting a few single perfume editions of A Love at First Scent, in addition to the long form ones, which I may still try to do once every 3 weeks, once every month, and so on and so forth. I wanted to do one on Facebook because, as I say, I haven't done one on Facebook for a while, not because I have anything against Facebook per se, but because the technology on Facebook is starting to make it quite difficult and annoying to do these live videos in terms of saving them afterwards and making them uploadable to different formats, different places, because I like to sort of cross-link. I want to be able to upload this video to YouTube later, and I'm hoping I will be able to do it. So apologies to those of you who prefer using Facebook, but I've got nothing against you, and I don't particularly, I don't prefer YouTube per se. It's just the technology here can be a bit tricky sometimes. Please feel free to leave comments, ask questions. This is the perfume that we're going to be looking at in a moment. Hearts, a thumbs up, etc. are always welcome. If you are watching on YouTube after the live broadcast, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I should also say that as soon as I finish this episode, in other words, maybe in about 15-20 minutes or so time, once Facebook has done its thing and uploaded the video fully onto their system, I'm going to go straight over to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, and do an episode on a different perfume. However, before we smell this, I should also, this is just a symbolic gesture, I should say thank you for the coffee. There isn't actually any coffee in here because I didn't want it to interfere with the scent of the perfume we're about to smell. Although there is a slight irony in the fact that I've decided not to really bring a coffee into this room with this perfume. I'll explain why. But I wanted to say thank you very much. I won't bore you with why I'm thanking you for a coffee, but if you check out what is still the latest post on Persolaise.com, you will see what I mean. I have a coffee page now, as in KOFI. I will link to it at the bottom of this video. If you haven't already done so, please check it out and see what it's about, or check out the post on my blog. I'll link to that as well. But to all of you who have supported me on coffee, thank you very much. I've enjoyed having the coffee a great deal, and I really appreciate your kindness and your support, and also the very generous comments that a lot of you have left with the support that you gave me on coffee. Right, having said all of that, let us smell this. Now, this isn't new, not especially new. You can see here, can you make it out? It's from Zegna. Let's hold it there because I always need to think about thumbnails with these videos. It's from Zegna. It's part of their Essenze collection. And you may just be able to see that it's called Madras Cardamom. Okay? I became aware of this incarnation of the Zegna range a few months ago. Some of you will know that a couple of years ago they came out as eau de toilette. Not this one though, because this is new to just this range. They came out as eau de toilette, the Essenze range, and Zegna decided to have a bit of a change around, and they turned them all into eau de parfum. I think they may even have ditched one or two along the way, and they made a brand new one, this one called Madras Cardamom. And I've been telling myself that I ought to bring them to your attention for quite some time. I really like, for instance, what they've done with the oud in the eau de parfum form. And time was ticking, and I wore this the other day, and I suddenly remembered that I hadn't mentioned it to you. So I thought, right, perfect for a one-off Love at First Scent video. Ashfaq says, good evening, everyone. Finding me on Facebook as well. Thanks for tuning in, Ashfaq. So here we go. And so I have tried this before, and I know I like it, and I know I liked it the first time I tried it, and I'm hoping this book pyramid isn't going to collapse on us. And the reason why I say it's kind of funny that I was talking about not really wanting to bring coffee in here, is because this starts off with a very, very pronounced coffee note. So I suppose, is this going to work? Yes. Can you see that? So I suppose a coffee note wouldn't have been terribly, or coffee wouldn't have been terribly out of place. Sally says, hello. I must, the fact that I need to squint is a bit worrying. Have I got comments coming up on the tablet? I can't see them, but never mind. At least I can see them here. So, it is just instant coffee, and a very, very, very convincing coffee, which on the one hand reminds me of Hot Cologne from Mugler, but also, unsurprisingly, reminds me of the coffee-cardamom scent from Guerrilla Perfumes, from Lush. That one is a lot more sort of fun-lovingly crude than this. You know, a lot of the Lush perfumes, if you haven't checked them out, you do need to check out the Lush perfumes, by the way. They're quite rough around the edges. You know, there's a reason why they're called guerrilla perfumes, because they have this anti-establishment approach to rules and to finesse, maybe, although a lot of them are a lot more sophisticated than they appear at first sight. This is a coffee note, and leading into a cardamom note, which is very, very Zegna, in the sense that it's refined, very, very tailored. It's got that easy Italian chic to it. You can't. All the buttons are in the right place, you know, and all the buttonholes are perfect here. It's this very relaxed and yet impeccably tailored suit. You know, people talk about Italian suits for men having a more relaxed profile than maybe English suits. You can sort of smell that here. On paper it works beautifully. Ooh, Belinda says, hello, coffee and cardamom sounds instantly appealing. I love both notes and really enjoy them together. Then you need to check this out. The blend with the cardamom is interesting. Now, cardamom is an easy sell for me. I need to pick up the tablet and see why your comments aren't coming up here. It's probably because I've done something wrong. There's probably just one direction in which I'm not swiping. What am I doing wrong? No, I want you to keep playing on the iPad. Never mind. As long as I see the comments coming up. I thought, or maybe I have to hold. Maybe I have to tap and hold. No, that's not doing it either. Cardamom is a really, really easy sell for me. Maybe because it reminds me of Middle Eastern hospitality, you know, tea with cardamom, coffee with cardamom. If you've never had tea with cardamom, you're really missing out. Try and get some cardamom pods and crush them into a cup of tea as soon as you can, preferably black tea in that case, though. It's not used very much in perfumery. Hermès put it in, Christine Nagel put it in the Hermès exclusive range, but she paired it with musk, which was very interesting, in the perfume oil called Cardamusk, which is just gorgeous. Cardamom is interesting because it's a fairly rare example of a spice that's cool. Most spices tend to go towards the warm spectrum of olfactory temperatures. Cardamom has a cooling effect, and yet you don't ever mistake it with mint or with citrus. Ashfaq says Yemeni coffee and cardamom blend is one of my favourite. Interesting. And Holly, hello, love a coffee and cardamom. Any milky notes in this Zegna? Good question. No, except maybe the slight creamy milkiness of a sort of sandalwoody undertone, if you get what I mean, and I know you will get what I mean. But no, nothing overtly lactonic. And I love how cardamom does manage to be both possessed of a sort of biting quality. There's something tart about it. There's something quite lime-like about it, and not lemony. And yet it is cool, and it's that effect that's used so beautifully in the Declaration from Cartier. Have you ever tried Yemeni coffee, says Ashfaq? I miss my Egyptian friend who introduced me to it. No, I don't. I mean, I've had lots of cardamom coffees in the UAE. Whether they're like Yemeni coffees, I don't know. I would imagine Yemeni coffee must be particular to Yemen. So no, I don't know. I shall have to seek it out. But I wanted to bring this to your attention because I'm actually, maybe you could just watch me smelling it for a couple of minutes, because it just works so well that I think where the coffee and the cardamom connect is in that sense of being roasted, because the coffee beans do feel roasted, and that somehow latches on to some aspect of the cardamom, and you can't always see the seam between the two of them. And also what's interesting about this one is that it's a genuine case of a perfume that smells quite different on different people. I have got a little bit of a press release on it. First of all, a general one about the change to the Essenze. I won't read all of it. It says, Sartorial meets Sensorial in the culmination of two crafts, bespoke tailoring and artisan fragrance creation. Each Essenze eau de parfum is designed to spotlight and intensify the natural beauty of a single precious ingredient. Almog says, hello. Hello, sir. Like the luxurious yarns woven into Zegna designs, each Essenze eau de parfum is created using the finest and rarest ingredients in nature, discreetly sourced from around the world, etc., etc. Apparently they use a bergamot, which is just theirs. It says, secured the bergamot harvest from a single field, establishing a future tradition of excellence, extending the work of hands from earth to atelier to aroma. And then just a bit on the cardamom itself. Explore a new side of addiction. That word is used a lot in perfume copy at the moment. Through the combination of spice, warmth and richness. Senses are tantalized right from the start by the lively blend of cardamom and pink pepper, while coffee, santos and vanilla bean create intriguing sensuality and an innovative gourmand profile. The base is quite vanillic, but not at all in an overly sweet way. A sense of depth is enhanced by the smooth textures of Virginian cedarwood, noble vetiver and rich cistus absolute. So it's got a kind of gentle labdanum-like smokiness. And this is, to me, I've never been to Madras. I've been to India 3 times and loved it. I've never been to Madras. I don't know whether Madras cardamom has got a special quality, but it does feel a little bit like an afternoon in India, you know, where you might have a very, very genteel, very civilized cup of tea somewhere, and somebody brings you some beautiful biscuits. So maybe that's the vanillic hint, suggesting a kind of gourmand experience to it. But Ashfaq says bergamot is cheap. Maybe that's why. Maybe what's why? Well, maybe that's why they've got their own bergamot, you mean? Or I suppose. I don't know. Usual rules apply. Please don't forget that I will post a blotter update a few hours, it'll probably be tomorrow my time, a few hours after this broadcast is finished. But I wanted to bring this to your attention, and also to appear on Facebook to say I haven't forgotten about the Facebook audience, but it is the technology that is stopping me from broadcasting a bit more frequently on Facebook, and also to tell everybody out there on Facebook that the plan, at least for the foreseeable future, is to continue with the long-form Love at First Scent videos, but to also try to do more frequent single perfume ones, just to please everybody out there. So I think that's it. Like I said, after Facebook has done its thing and uploaded this video, I will go over to YouTube live. So I reckon it's going to be about 10 minutes before I go over to YouTube for a much newer release, a very, very interesting one. But until then, thank you very much for tuning in. Bye.